What's up, people? Welcome back to Hit the Bid. My name is Crow, and this is my story. We all gathered around and for a few laughs at the stock idiot as he laughed and cried about stocks going up after he gets out, about mistakes he makes due to the fact that he's too emotional. Some people say schizo. Knowing what he's doing, yet unable to achieve the larger goals he has in store for himself. The frustrations of the stock market can ruin a man. But what can ruin a man such as I, because the stock market, I think I'm almost getting immune to the pain. The pain of selling a stock and 5 minutes later, the $200 loss which should have been a $500 gain. The market going up days after I finally sell out of an entire portfolio, or the market crashing as soon as I decide not to stay short anymore. But what I'm talking about right now is, what I've been talking about is the disease that I possess as far as breaking computers. Okay, now, we all know that I wasn't going to get those computers from the Newark guys, and I finally have found an Apple computer that works relatively well, but I needed a PC. So my last resort, I called Dell. That's right. I said, Dell, listen, this is what I need. I need a 2 gigs of RAM, 150 gig hard drive, whatever. Build me something simple that I can get on the internet and trade with. Fantastic. The thing only costs $600 with the flat screen monitor, 20-inch flat screen monitor. And I said to Gina, let me tell you something. I will guarantee you, and if you want to make a side bet on the notion, I will guarantee that there will be something wrong with the computer once it comes to my house. Now, this is just unbelievable at this point. I haven't installed anything on the computer, nothing. Everything was working fine until the computer went into screensaver mode and then basically went to sleep. As I woke it from its slumber and went to go back on the internet, wouldn't you know it, a blue screen. You gotta love the blue screen, warning you that there's something wrong, that your computer needs to be shut down, to call the administrator. Now, is it me, or does everybody have an administrator at home? Your computer warns you that it needs help. How often is there an administrator around? Now for the fun part. I called Gina back saying, okay, listen, I've had the computer for less than 24 hours and I told you it would be broken. I want to return it. I don't want to talk to tech support. I don't want to talk to tech support. I want to pack the computer up, put it back in the box, which I don't even want to do that. I want you to really send me a new computer, and if that one works, I'll send you back this one. Because I am now convinced that there will be not one computer ever that I can't break. And it's not like I'm doing anything to it. I just have to touch it and it breaks. So I'm trapped in a world where I need computers and they do not work for me. So the frustration of that will overweigh any amount of money that I could lose, any amount of stocks going up like the SMSI. Now, if you haven't come to the website, hitthebid.net, it's all about me, of course, because I went into the chat room yesterday. I said, hey, I just sold out of dryers. That's DRYS at 73 for a $200 loss. Get in. And that stock had at least a 2.5 point move after I got out of it. So, all you need is one winner. All you need is one winner. But the SMSI, my boy Dumpy in the chat room, haven't seen him in a while. He says, hey, look, we've got to give this thing a shot going into earnings. And I said, you're crazy. And the stock's up 25% in the pre-market here. So, I could say things that are wrong. It's mind-boggling. The money that you can make just hanging out at my website, hitthebid.net, on a daily basis. Now, I'm going to try to film these tech calls as best as I can to show the world how easy, or maybe it'll be one of these pleasant situations. Oh yeah, Mr. Crow, all you gotta do is flip a switch and it'll be fine. But you know that's not gonna happen. You know that's not gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen is I'm going to be frustrated, and I'm going to just wind up taking the $600 machine and going to the DELL kiosk at the mall and blaming them. Not that those guys had anything to do with it, but I'm going to have to find some sort of DELL representation and take out my anger and frustration on you guys. So let's hope these tech guys can figure out what's wrong with my computer in less than a couple of phone calls, or else there's going to be hell to be paid. And you know, I gotta say something. I talk a lot about how I'm going to get revenge. Now, I'm not a violent person, and I'm really a friendly guy. But I'm kind of thinking that there's a lot of... I've gotten emails about some collaboration to do with the Hit the Bid program. And then suddenly we don't talk anymore. That's kind of odd. Like I got my boy, Mr. Swan. He's talking about all this great stuff he wants to do with me, and then we kind of fall off and nothing happens. Or somebody wants to put me on their radio show. Now, do you fear me? Are you afraid I can't keep it together? Don't you realize that sometimes I embellish the violence for laughs? Don't you realize that I have 2 children and that, yeah, that's right, I can be normal at times if you want me to. I can talk eloquently and pretend that I'm an analyst. I can put on Russian accents. I can be anybody you want. That's the point. Do not fear the Crawlster and the Hit the Bid program. Do not fear me. But if you want to embrace the horror that I am this lunatic and that's how you think that best describes me, then you really don't know the true Crawlster. Because as you know, I'm here to save the world. I have a curse, but I'm allowing people to use my curse for good. Alright, let's get on with it. And I am not trading today. And if I say later on that I'm trading, I will pay you $100 to come to my house and slap me so hard, I will not be pressing buttons today. I'm waiting for the CMGI earnings, and I will explain the situation to you later. I should have done this all with a Russian accent on because I promised I wouldn't be myself. But this isn't myself either. I'm a deluded, broken man right now. What am I supposed to do? Is this my plight? This is my plight in life. Every time something goes wrong with me, I have to just assume that somewhere this is part of it. It's the good and the bad. Every time something bad happens, I gotta find something that's good and say, alright, it makes it even out. That's the only way I can live. So, hold on to those positives, people. And God bless.